Okay, this is take two. I had trouble with my connection before. So, take two. Hello, everybody. I am excited to be giving you all another update. A lot has happened. I have got back from Liberia just the other week. We have reached an important milestone, and I've got some good updates to give you. I'm just checking. Yes, I am live, but I have no viewers, so come on, people. It's so awkward. I am a bit of a Nigel no friends, so never mind. I'll just soldier on. So, first of all, for those of you who are new, my name is Margot, and I am the CEO of Home of Hope in Liberia. I currently live in Australia and I run it remotely. I have some very, very, very good staff in Liberia who do the on-the-ground work. Just get rid of that notification. So yes, for those of you that are new, just a quick overview. Home of Hope in Liberia. We are a shelter for women and children in crisis. So we get women who come in, mostly homeless off the street, very, very, very poor. They're often pregnant. They often have children. They're in desperate circumstances. There is no welfare system in Liberia. There is no Centrelink. There's no government payouts. So if you don't have family or someone in your life who can look after you and you don't have a job, then times can be very, very scary. So, yes, we get a lot of women coming in very sick and very desperate, and we help them. We give them shelter, we give them food, we give them health care. It's a big one. We do trauma healing with them, and we do vocational training with them. And the idea is to set them up, empower them to go back out into the community with a means of how to support themselves, to look after their children. And importantly, we share with them the love of God, and we show them that there is hope for joy, and there's hope for a better future, and there's hope for eternal life. Because what point is it if you have a really good life on earth, but then in eternity things aren't so good? So that's what we mainly do in a nutshell. So I have something really important to announce. And now, I don't usually do this on a live stream. I'm just going to put my phone down for a minute. Right. This is a party hat, which I don't normally wear on a live stream. But this is a really big moment. So you guys, just about lost my notes there. You guys, we have just reached 100 supporters. Yes, it's party time. It's celebrate time. We are really, really excited and happy to be able to say we have finally reached 100 regular monthly Home of Hope supporters. And so we are now bringing in most of what we need to keep the place running every month. And I say most because we do have to increase the budget every now and then. So, yeah. But you guys, thank you. This is a really momentous occasion for us that we can say we have 100 supporters regularly giving money to Home of Hope every month. This is really big for us in our, it's a huge answer to prayer. It goes towards our sustainability and the fact that we are supporting ourselves really, really well. And I have you guys to thank for that. So thank you for those of you that are giving, those of you that give regularly. You are literally changing lives and saving lives. And on that note, I'm not going to wear that for the whole live stream because it's really awkward. So I want to tell you about my recent trip, and going back there was such a reminder to me of just the high impact of what we're doing. One of the things, and you can look back through Home of Hope posts, you'll see some posts that I put on while I was there in Liberia. But one of the things we did was we had an alumni group come back and share how they're doing, what they're up to, how they're succeeding in life. And it was the most meaningful day of my life. Okay, maybe not of my life, but it was incredibly meaningful. You know, we had some girls give their testimony about how coming to Home of Hope changed them, changed their lives, showed them that they can have a future. They learnt how to support themselves. They're now supporting their children. And one of them who gave a testimony, she said, you know, all girls that come through Home of Hope, it's life-changing for them. But for some of us, it's life-saving. And man, that impacted me. You know, some of the girls that come in, if they didn't come into Home of Hope, would actually end up dead. And that is just, I just love being a part of this. It's so, so good. I was just able to see again firsthand how committed our staff is. We have our 2 directors who work tirelessly, Annette and James, for Home of Hope. We have 3 caretakers, 3 security guards and 3 vocational trainers at the moment. And they are so committed to Home of Hope. I was moved by their commitment and their love for the girls in the home. While I was there, we were able to do some training. We did all the usual stuff like safeguarding, you know, preventing burnout, how trauma-informed care, things like that. I was able to connect with the girls that are currently in the home. And I was so moved by their stories. I mean, whenever we get new girls in the home, they send me a video of each girl telling her story or where she's come from, what she, you know, where she's at in life. But to meet them personally was truly, truly amazing. I was really moved by Angie. Angie was telling me that, oh gosh, she was living with her boyfriend and, her boyfriend left her and she then had nowhere to live. So she found a friend who she lived with. They had this little tin shack. And even to have a tin shack is great because at least it's some shelter. But it was so bad that every time it rained, the whole place would flood. They would literally sit on chairs all night, just, you know, until the water receded. Anyway, they were just surviving. The friend she was living with was supporting them both by going out every night and working on the streets. I won't, you know what I'm talking about. The friend eventually said to her, Angie, I can't support us both like this. You have to come join me. And so Angie did. She started going out every night and working on the streets with her friend just so that she could survive. She didn't want to do that. She didn't grow up as a little girl thinking, oh, I hope when I'm a grown-up I get to work on the streets to support myself so I don't die. It's not like these girls choose to do this because they want to. It was a matter of survival for her. Anyway, a lady in the community saw what was happening. She could see. She knew Angie from some previous circumstance, and she said to Angie, what are you doing? And Angie was like, well, what else am I supposed to do? I've got no other way to survive. And this lady knew about Home of Hope and referred her to James, who then she was able to come into the home with the next group of girls. And now she is saved from that lifestyle. And all of the consequences that go with that, she is saved from that now. And she has learnt tailoring and soap making and tie-dye. And she can now choose various ways that she can now earn money without having to go out on the street. So stories like that, to see these girls firsthand, be able to hug them and say, you know what, you're not forgotten. Okay, there's people in Australia, in America, in the UK, all over the world that are supporting Home of Hope for girls like you because you are not forgotten and you are valuable. Anyway, I've got to try not to get too worked up. It's just wonderful to be a part of this. So while I was there, I took these little canvas magnet hearts over with me for the girls to decorate, and I have some of them here, which the girls themselves have decorated, and we are going to sell them at our fundraising dinner. Now, keep in mind, these girls range from age 12 upwards. So obviously the work is not, you know, masterpiece, but this represents joy. It's a symbol of hope that these girls are able to do a craft work, you know, and make a contribution to the fundraising efforts for the home that they're staying in. So we're going to have these at our fundraising dinner later in the year to buy, and you can put them on your fridge, and that can be a reminder of the girls at Home of Hope. While I was there, got lots of video content, lots of photos, so stay tuned. There's going to be lots of more content coming when I can get to all the video editing and putting that all together. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to our Facebook or Insta pages, do that. We also have a YouTube channel, so subscribe. It doesn't earn us money, but just so you can keep up to date with Home of Hope. Right, now, our current needs at Home of Hope. Yes, we have current needs. Now, first of all, I love that we've reached 100 supporters, and that is just a massive milestone for us. However, for the last couple of months, my staff have been talking to me about various needs at the home, and I have been sort of saying, yep, okay, all right, let's talk further. Let's think about that, you know. I don't want to have to find more money. But going over there has shown me there are needs and we need to keep this a quality thing happening that we're doing. So we do need to slightly up the budget. And I will look at that. We'll talk with the committee here in Australia and Liberia, and we'll work out what that looks like. And so if you are not a monthly supporter, please feel free to still join up to support us. You can do that by going to our website, www.homeofhopeliberia.com, because we are still really looking for more supporters. The other thing is we're going to need a car at the home. So they had asked me for a car, and I was kind of like, oh gosh, that seems like something really hard. But when I went there, I saw for myself, you know, on a Sunday morning they go to church. It's like 14 separate trips in a KK or tuk-tuk, whatever you know it as. Those little, you know, three-wheel motorbikey car things. I don't know. If you know, you know. And the other problem is that when there's health problems, emergencies at the home, they really need a car. So one night, Blessing, this was not last group, I think it was the group before, Blessing had an asthma attack. She was actually really sick, and it was an emergency. They needed to get her to the hospital. It was like 11 o'clock at night. They could not find a car. They couldn't find a taxi, a KK/tuk-tuk. They couldn't find anything. They got so desperate. Like, Blessing was pretty much unconscious. They put her on the back of James' motorbike, then put one of the security guards behind her so they could wedge her there and hold her in, and drove her to the hospital that way. And I just thought, oh man, that's not ideal. There's no ambulance. Well, basically there's no ambulances in Liberia. Occasionally you can find one, but they're usually associated with a private hospital or anyway, trust me, it's not the way it is in the Western countries. So, yes, we do need to get a car, and I'm looking at what's going to be best. I do think, ultimately a new car would be better, because the cars that they sell in Liberia are usually, well, anyway, it'd take me too long to explain the ins and outs of it, but that's going to be something we'll be looking at. So, yes, a car. Now, things that you can pray about for Home of Hope. Please keep praying for our girls at Home of Hope. They come in, their souls are crushed. They come in desperate. They're so traumatized. Pray for our girls that a healing work will be done, not only in their physical bodies, but in their hearts and their very souls while they're at Home of Hope. Pray for our staff. One of the things we did our training on when I was over there was burnout. They're dealing with really desperate situations every single day, and that can really burn people out. So pray for our staff. Pray for me to have wisdom as the CEO in the big decisions, the fundraising, the direction that we take, everything. just pray for wisdom for me and all of the leadership, the directors as well, in our decision making, and pray that we will have all our needs met, that we will get more supporters. Pray about being a supporter. Could you be part of the next 100 supporters? That could be you, and you will be changing lives if you do that. I know it's a real cliche, but I can't help it. It's true. So anyway, I want to give my absolute heartfelt thanks to those who give to Home of Hope and to those who pray. If I was a millionaire, I would just support it. No problems. Easy. Sadly, I'm not a millionaire, and I have to ask those around me to give towards it. And I do that with pleasure and joy, because it's such a pleasure and an honour to be a part of this. So I also want to announce our 2025 fundraising dinner down in Brisbane will be on the 19th of September. So be there or be square. Those of you who've been before can testify. It actually is a fun night. It's a really interesting night. It will be in Brisbane again at Kedron Wavell. We've got a really good setup there with the room at Kedron Wavell. So put that date in your diaries, 19th of September. And it will be a wonderful night. I've got all sorts of great stuff that I'm already planning for that. Now, before I go, if you have any questions about Home of Hope, what we're doing, what we've done, what we're planning, yada, yada, any questions at all about my recent trip to Liberia, put them in the comments and I will answer them for you in the comments. Very, very happy. We want to be very transparent in the work we're doing. If you've got questions about the budget or, our accountability, our auditing, who we're partnered with, feel free to ask those questions. If you want to hear more about the girls at Home of Hope, feel free. We just had the group that I met while I was there, they graduated last week. So they are now out back in the community. They have a room rented for them, like in various different places for 6 months, and that gives them 6 months to start building up their market business or their tailoring business or whatever it is they'd like to do. So I just love being a part of this. I love that you're a part of this with me. Thank you so much for joining me on my live stream. It's been lovely to be able to just chat informally with you. As you know, I'm a bit of a rambler, so it comes pretty easily to me. All right, stay tuned for more stuff that's coming up. Love you guys and have a good evening. Bye.